So let's talk about some of the next generation Xbox new technologies. Let's look into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I would like to talk about next generation Xbox and some of the new technologies, especially AI technologies that may be used in that console, right? I mean, like with Xbox Series S and X and PlayStation 5, they had their own set of new features and technologies like ray tracing, SSD, and that kind of stuff. And I think the biggest thing next gen is going to be AI, right? And AI is being used even right now, not really to a big extent, but some games uses it. Xbox is using machine learning for auto HDR and that kind of stuff. So I don't think that AI is being used fully just yet, but next gen, I'm sure it's going to change. Now, what I really want to focus on today is the NPU, so Neural Processing Unit. I did mention that a few weeks ago. I think I made a video about talking about it, that it's a possibility, especially that even we do see these in consumer products already, like Apple. Apple makes their own APUs, so their own processors and that kind of stuff. And these APUs have block called, I think they call it, well, I don't really know. I think they call it ML block or something like that. But that's basically neural processing unit, right? So basically a dedicated piece of silicon that handles only these 4-bit and 8-bit integer calculations for machine learning, right? And it's a dedicated hardware, dedicated piece of silicon, so it can do more, if you know what I mean. Now, Xbox Series S and X comes with extra layer of extra instructions, so it's not necessarily extra silicon per se, is just extra instruction set, right? But it's hardware accelerated. But my understanding is that on Xbox Series S and X, these instructions kind of take away from other processing. I think they are not independent, right? So having a dedicated piece of silicon doing just that, calculating whatever machine learning needs to calculate, would speed things up. I think that next gen consoles, both Xbox and PlayStation, in my opinion, going to have that NPU, right? And why do I think so? Not because of Apple, but I'm just looking at an interesting article over here. And basically in this article, they talk about new APUs from AMD. And guess what manufacturer Microsoft and Sony will go for the next gen consoles? I would say 90%, 95% AMD. And they've got, I mean, I don't think these are out just yet, but there's some benchmarks already. So AMD is getting ready to release a new family of APUs. I forgot how they called, but that doesn't really matter that much. And basically they use Ryzen 9 and Ryzen 7 CPUs. And they've got all kinds of, I mean, we're talking about Zen 5, really. These are very powerful CPUs, although there's Ryzen 5 at the bottom here too. So they offer anything between 6 to 12 cores, 24 threads, clock speeds anything between 2 gigahertz up to 5 in boost mode, etc., etc. Now, interesting thing about these APUs is that they also have AI capabilities, right? I mean, obviously Ryzen, because they are using Ryzen 3 or 3, I think. Yeah, sorry, RDNA 3 Plus they're going to be using for these GPUs, for the APU, for the GPU part of the APU. And so obviously RDNA 3 and 2 proper actually do have that the ML capabilities like Xbox Series S and X, right? Because it's pretty much the same. That's AMD implementation, not Microsoft's implementation, right? But on top of that, if you look at the actual specification here, sorry I didn't prepare the table over here, but I will leave a link in the description of this video below, so so you can actually check it yourself. And basically they say that these chips, pretty much all of them, will have 80 AI tops. And just for the reference, I think they're talking about 8-bit tops, so we're talking about like similar capabilities to Xbox Series X, really I think overall. But what consists of these AI capabilities here is both CPU and GPU, as in you've got, because they hear 80 AI tops, 50 tops NPU, right? So what they suggest that there's NPU on board, right? So neural processing unit. So basically a piece of silicon that deals only with these machine learning calculations. And so that's 50 tops out of 80, and the rest of it comes from GPU probably, right? Because RDNA 3 is, do have these instruction set built in. So that's 80 tops. Is it a lot? I mean, for these APUs, probably it's quite okay capabilities. We're talking about Xbox Series, more than Xbox Series X capabilities, really, and we're talking about like a smaller chips. These are for PC, of course, but I'm talking about technology available. But for example, PlayStation 5 comes with way more. I mean, I don't want to lie right now, but I think they said something about like 200, 300 tops for PlayStation 5 Pro, because PlayStation 5 Pro will have the, I think this is in, I don't think PlayStation 5 Pro will have NPU, but they will have these instructions built in, just like Xbox Series X, but it's just, that's going to be a way more powerful GPU, so it will be able to handle more tops, right? More of these calculations. So, but my point is that if we are seeing these NPUs appearing pretty much everywhere now, Microsoft and their latest laptops comes with some form of NPU as well. So it's just a matter of time when these new consoles arrive. They will have probably NPU, not as a separate chip, but it's going to be an extra piece of silicon in the APU. And I guess it's just natural progression, right? And there's so much talk about machine learning and AI, and Microsoft is betting big on AI too. And Sony actually as well with PlayStation 5 Pro, believe it or not, because even that their super upscaling technique is based off of some form of like machine learning or something like that. They are using machine learning calculations to actually improve that image quality and that kind of stuff, right? So it's just natural progression in my opinion. So if we were to talk about any sort of like a new stuff, new tech, I think that would be the thing that is probably going to be the biggest thing. Is that going to revolutionize gaming and that kind of stuff? Probably not, but hopefully we will get more games, more developers using that technology, and that will benefit us gamers, because we should get better games, better looking games, better running games. Maybe because obviously these machine learning calculations can be used for NPUs, for NPCs and other stuff, not only for graphics. So hopefully we will not only get prettier and better running games, but also better games, as in more interesting and with more stuff to do, basically, right? So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, interesting stuff. Make sure you check the link in the description of this video to that article where they talk about these APUs from AMD. There's like a nice table there showing all the specs and stuff, so interesting stuff. I'm sure I will talk about that more in the future for sure, so stay tuned for more. So guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.